Hey everybody, Gears here, and I am doing a little body work on Red 2, and a little work with lemons as well. Primarily what I've been doing over the last week or so in preparation for the Cajon Car Classic was just gluing on a few small pieces here and there. I actually had to bolt this guy on to make sure that stays good. It was a matter of the plastic versus the JB Weld that's not going to work as well on some plastics as it will on others. It's a radiator from probably a Northbridge set or something inside a computer, and I put down a few sheets of styrene. That one on the hood there was the first. This one's been on for a couple days now, and you can see I'm just masking off to put a couple panels next to it. Got some computer keys here. These will pry off really easy, so if they're going to stay, then they have to be screwed into the body. I'm going to be doing this panel here, and this is also going to be a last look at these panels as well, because once the whole body gets covered in styrene, that's pretty much it. And I found that the key to really making this work is to, I don't know what I was going to say there. Let's take a look at this. Oops. Well, my wife said I can't remove the dashboard, but didn't say anything about all the cushioning on the dashboard. And while I was trying to remove one of those ventilator grills so I could paint it independent of having to mask it off around the body, the vinyl kind of ripped, it cracked, and I just kind of did the rest in 1,000 pieces. You can see that the glue did hold on to whatever's going on with the airbag there. And I'll probably cover that area with something else instead, very lightly, so that when it does deploy, it won't be hindered at all. The foam itself covering the airbag was just as thick as elsewhere with no perforations around it. However, the vinyl on the outside did have a slat so that it could explode through. So I had some 1/8 inch art masking tape. Around, usually for artist kind of stuff. And as I wanted to get rid of it, I went around and did a lot of the tubes and everything here and there. We'll take a look at the back trunk here in a few minutes. And over here, what I found with these first few pieces of styrene is you really need magnets to hold them down. So you can see I've got a whole slew of them deployed, and I can barely think and talk with all the traffic going by. So let me get some work done, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. I did this little bit of work yesterday. It's going to be very, very promising. I can finally pull these magnets out. They were just in there for force to hold it in place. I'm definitely going to have to watch the styrene thickness. This one is thicker than that one, for example. But it's really working out well. And I did a little bit up here too. It's going to be interesting to give this some depth, and this was really encouraging right here. Really, really encouraging. I got a bit of cleanup on this one. It's too bad I didn't do it last night. It's going to be a little tougher to do now, but it'll still clean up. That's no issue at all. And this guy's looking pretty good too. Nice. So I've got a few larger sheets. These are almost 2x2. Yeah, they're probably just about 2x2 actually. So I want to try putting a larger piece on a flatter area, maybe like the door there, somewhere right in here maybe. Or I could even try one on the hood, because that is going to be in full sunlight, and that will definitely help out with conforming the shape to the overall complexity going on. There's definitely a lot of compound curves on this car. So that panel there is definitely one too large for even the sheets that I have here. Just barely though, by a few inches. That's okay. That is quite alright. Up here, this could be too much of a compound curve to get a good fit on. And I'm seeing what I'm really going to need is like tracing paper or some kind of tissue that I can lay out overall, draw the shape that I need, and then cut the styrene. Otherwise I'm going to be wasting a lot of styrene. So for right now, I just want to keep with simple, broad patterns overall. So I'm going to get to work and we'll see what happens. So I should have got a shot of this panel before it went away. I did keep this corner here because of that coloration going on. And in another 6 or 7 hours, I should be able to pull these magnets off. I think the sun is really going to help melt that and conform it into place. So I'll check back after that. Alright, so switching over to the inside side of things, I came upstairs to get a few pieces of small scrap plastic, different widths, thicknesses here rather. I also, digging through the drawer, found a couple other smaller pieces, an L bracket, a clear tube. I suppose this looks like an H-beam, but it could be a really tall I-beam. Small tiny ladder, and some corrugated roofing. Then I thought, you know, this is styrene, why don't I go with the actual stuff and get myself some styrene actual greeblies and put actual greeblies onto my actual Star Wars X-Wing car. Nice. So the dark gray here is from the Blue Devil, Lindbergh. The light gray here is from the C57D, I think. Now there's not too many good pieces for my purposes in the C57. This is the 1/72nd version of the interior, by the way. Clear end of a 30th Colonial Viper, 30th anniversary. More of the Lindbergh. This is actually the case off a CPU. Klingon D7, a little bit of proto board, some train track, and yeah, I'm going to keep looking around here and there, but this is definitely a good amount to start with. I don't know if I'll use anything, but it's everything rather, but it is good to have this batch. These are some great shapes here. These are half canisters, so they'll go on the surface perfectly. These lifeboats are really convincing shapes for just about anything you could really do, I suppose. These two guys here, these can bend around some corners, I bet. So this is a nice little haul and a bit of a surprise. I don't know why I didn't think of actually using model pieces. And if I can spare a little piece of an X-Wing, I'll even put that on there too. As mentioned in previous videos, the whole body is going to get sheeted in styrene plastic. I'm using long set JB Weld and crap loads of magnets to hold everything into place. So that panel is only a couple hours old. This panel here as well, and I got this one, so it was a pretty good day. I've decided that I am going to leave a seam line between everything. I think that is going to look the most effective, and I think that's pretty much about the width that I want overall. So it'll go nearly invisible at a distance, but it's really going to stand out when you get close, I think. One warning is that styrene will break down in the sunlight, the UV over time, so that's going to be an interesting effect, whether it just generally disintegrates or starts cracking or whatever. But in that case, I'll just wind up replacing the panels. 2 hard drive covers here, memory stick cooler. I think this was off a computer as well. I've got a CPU cooling fan or a Northbridge. Nice little bit of detail right here. Floppy disk and aspirin cover. and an older panel there. I've got a couple other panels picked out, already cut, one for here and one for up there. And then I got a wife sitting over there. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.